As part of Fentanyl Awareness Day, we're continuing to highlight the dangers of the drug. Now mourning the loss of a beloved son, brother, and grandson, Jackson Warnick's family is sitting down with us tonight to share their story and the impact this drug will forever have on their lives. Jackson Lee Warnick grew up in West Texas with his parents and siblings, the baby of the family.
There was 18 years between us. He wanted to be a race car driver because my dad raced Mustangs. The Mustang was bright yellow, and so his favorite color forever was bright yellow.
When he was little bitty, Cars, the movie, had just come out, and that did it. He knew every line. And anybody that walked up to him, he'd say, "Ka-chow!"
Jackson's family says he was a great kid growing up and very talented when it came to anything he could get his hands on.
Self-taught guitar player. Of course, he started on the acoustic, and then we moved on to the louder and the distortion pedal, and I was always looking for ways to challenge him. He loved to tinker. He loved to put things together. He would tinker with his dad in his Mustang, under the hood. And he was very smart.
As Jackson got older, he had dreams of attending the same college as his sister in Oklahoma. He fell in love with the campus instantly.
This was it. He loved the campus. We went to some football games. He was smitten with the whole thing. And he said, "When I get here, sis, I want you to show me the ropes. I want you to show me around." And so whether he would go through with that, I'm not sure. But he had those dreams that, and we were proud of him for that.
Jackson's family, though, started seeing a shift in his behavior. He got caught with a vape at school and was sent to the alternative center, his family even mentioning the dangers of fentanyl to him. It seemed like a struggle for Jackson to find exactly where he fit in.
And Jackson always wanted to, he never found his clique, he never found his crowd. So he was always looking to fit in. And sometimes it wasn't with the best people. And so when he got done with his time at the alternative center, I feel like he was okay for a while, and then we started suspecting maybe some cocaine use.
I did have conversations with him. Like she said, when we noticed the nosebleeds, I asked him to get help, and he told me he did not have a problem.
As a mom, I refused to believe it. So I was sort of oblivious to it, and I'm going, my son doesn't do that. He vapes. But his dad also started seeing signs. His sister was seeing some signs, and they had to tell me, he's got a bigger problem than vape.
We started noticing that he was depressed. Donna and my dad actually got him into help, into therapy. We thought he was sad.
The behavior and personality changes were concerning for the Warnick family.
We would encourage him to go do things with friends. He got to be a recluse, and all he wanted to do was stay in his room. He wanted to play his guitar. He had one good friend. And a few other friends that were come and go or here and there. But we encouraged him to get out and, go to supper with us. He never wanted to go anywhere. He never wanted to leave the house.
Jackson also suffered from insomnia for a long time.
We had tried everything. We had taken him to doctors. We tried over the counter. We were told, try this, try that, have him take this. And he was taking some melatonin for a while when he was younger, and the doctor approved of that, and then that starts to wear off. And what do you do after that? He could not sleep. So he took a pill from a coworker, and we're certain that that's where he got it.
And it could happen to anybody. And that's the message. That's why we're trying to do this, because it could happen to your A honor roll student. It could happen to your kid that's failing, to your athlete, or to your kid that's struggling every day.
Tonight, we continue telling the story of 17-year-old Jackson Warnick, a junior in high school who tragically lost his life to fentanyl last year. They're experiencing shock and heartbreak. Here's their message to other families. Jackson Warnick was a junior at Permian High School and now forever 17 years old.
He took a pill from a coworker, and we believe, we're certain that that's where he got it.
February 11th, 2023, Jackson's mother, Donna, and her husband, Larry Johnson, decided to go watch a movie and spend some quality time together while Jackson was at his dad's house. While at the theater, Donna received a call that would change her life forever.
My husband and I gone to the movies, and I get a phone call. And I look down, and it's Jackson's dad. And I'm in the movie theater, and I don't answer, and I just kind of ignore it. So I'll call him when I'm done. And then he calls again, and I said, okay, something's up. And I'm answering the phone as I'm walking out, and I hear Jackson, and I hear dead. And at this point, I'm saying, his phone is dead? What do you mean? What do you mean his phone died? And I finally leave the theater, and he says he's dead. He can barely make this out. I mean, he's screaming. It's really a blur. I remember calling my husband and I said, grab my purse. We have to go. We get to his dad's house, and all of the vehicles were outside, and nobody had lights on. It was quiet, and I was expecting sirens, and I knew at that point that he was gone.
The absence of police lights and sirens confirmed Donna's worst fears.
And I walked into the house, and I went straight to Jackson's bedroom, and there was a police officer outside of his room. And I was very demanding, and I said, I need to get in his room now. I'm Jackson's mother. And he said, no ma'am, I can't let you in. And I said, no, you don't understand. My son is in there, and I need to get in there to see him. I look back now, and I thank God that he followed his rules and did his job, because I don't think I wanted to see that. Now, I did at the time, but it's almost like you need to see something to believe it.
In that moment, Donna's world stood still. Her 17-year-old son, Jackson Lee Warnick, died of fentanyl poisoning.
You're answering questions like, where do you want his body to be taken to? And that's an answer a mother should never have to answer. What pains me now is I can't remember the last thing I said to him, what I said, when was the last time I talked to him, did I nag at him, because I was known to do that.
We now know that Jackson died after taking fentanyl-laced pills. This was confirmed by toxicology reports.
It takes a little while for you to get the toxicology report back, and we were right.
But leading up to that, the family says there were signs they recognized in hindsight.
There was a change. I think it was such a slow change that even after all this has happened, it's taken me saying to them, look at this change that happened over this amount of time, because it's hard to see that a change even occurred from the inside. He was so loved. He was so loved. He had everything like he could have wanted. There's such a stigma around this problem, and it's happening to so many people, that their family is dysfunctional and there's problems at home, and something had to have happened to them, and that is not true. The reality is that Jackson didn't know he was taken. First of all, I do strongly believe this is the first time that Jackson ever took this pill, this drug. It just happened, and it could happen to anybody.
Tonight in part 3 of this special report, we're discussing the dangers surrounding fentanyl with legislation now in place to prosecute fentanyl dealers. Jackson's family is hoping something can be done even in his case.
I didn't even know what fentanyl was till after Jackson passed away. Even though so many people were dying and it was everywhere, I just didn't pay attention. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know it existed.
Knowing what they know now and the heartbreak the Warnick family continues to go through, they don't wish this pain upon anyone else. They've taken steps to make sure more families don't experience the same fate.
February 28th, we went to City Council in front of all of them, and I held up Jackson's picture and I said, now, I'm a grieving mother, we're a grieving family. You tell us what we need to do in this community. And they were very supportive. Afterwards, the mayor prayed with us and expressed his condolences, and every one of them did. And some of them were teary-eyed when I was speaking, and they know it's a problem.
Court records show that the suspect, believed to have sold Jackson that pill, was implicated in several fentanyl-related poisonings.
His coworker was convicted of selling fentanyl pills. He wasn't included in that case, but we drew conclusions that that's where he got it. It was very shortly afterwards that she was caught with a very large amount of fentanyl. She went to jail or prison and became eligible 2 weeks after she got there. She will be out on parole in 11 months after she got to prison on a 5-year sentence. That's disheartening.
On September 1st of 2023, Governor Abbott signed into law legislation that gives prosecutors the authority to levy a murder charge on anyone caught selling or supplying someone with fentanyl if that person died of complications related to the drug.
Make an example. We've got to get the word out that, look, you want to distribute something that's going to kill somebody, you're going to pay the price, and you should pay the price.
Still, no one's been charged in connection with Jackson's death.
We went to visit her after she was put in jail. We went to visit her, and I had to keep my cool, and we wore our shirts, and she would not make eye contact with us. She would not look at us. And I ended with, I'm going to pray for you. And I took the high road.
She said, I don't understand why you're here. And she said, I just want you to see my son's face.
We had our shirts on, we had our buttons, and she would give us the side eye, and she knew.
Jackson's family says they won't give up.
I'm not going to stop. I told Cheyenne, if I have to stand on the corner of 42nd and Grandview with a megaphone, a bullhorn, I'm going to do that.
Her message to others:
stop and think about who would miss you. Don't be a statistic. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust your friends, your best friend. Like I said, they don't know where they got it. That person doesn't know where they got it. Talk to somebody if you're feeling low and you're feeling down.
Get help now, because that one time that you do it again could be your last time.
I don't want to see another family sitting here discussing their loved one.
Jackson and the countless others taken by this drug will not be forgotten, and we're going to continue to share their stories and raise awareness on the dangers of this drug. Again, it only takes one.